Welcome back to Business Nigeria. We hook up live with Effiong Ekop now, live for us at the stock exchange here in Lagos, Nigeria. Hello again, Effiong. So, did we see the day ending on a positive note like it started yesterday?
Oh no, the second trading day at the exchange ended in the negative territory because the biggest stock that normally controls large volume of market share, that's Dangote Cement, dragged down trading position, and so we closed in the negative territory, 0.20% downward. That's what happened today. But aside that, we had so many price gainers and losers, but because the biggest stock was the one that showed position, the market closed negatively. Now we are looking at 2017 performance of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and with me is a market analyst, NONA. NONA, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure having me on your program.
Thank you very much. You've covered the stock market for so many years and you've seen the ups and downs of the market. Did 2017 performance of the Nigerian exchange surprise you?
I will not say a surprise, though we had a situation where the market took a big run in the second half of the year compared to what it did in the first 6 months of the year. But this is not the first time that the market is running in this region. Interestingly, in 2013, we did have the market do more than what it did in 2017. So, like I said, not a surprise.
You know, after waiting for about 3-4 years, and investors were not happy, with what they were taking out of the market, suddenly the market performed, up to about 40% in a positive territory at the close of trade in December. And even the foreign channel, CNN, was able to picture the Nigerian market as doing very well among the top 5 in the global market. And that's so positive for us. So from here, where are we going?
Interestingly, the happenings in the second half of the year, should it continue into 2018, one of the chances is that we may have a market that will run the same race, but not that in the second half of 2018. And the reason for that being that most likely very many of the parties will begin to put party activities in the second half of the year, and that itself will mean that some level of diversion, if you like, or some level of disruption as far as the Nigerian market is concerned will be also begin to show face. But however, it is hoped that the situation in the international market when it comes to the price of crude oil will also be maintained, and should that be maintained, then the impact in terms of how hard that will come on our market may not be as bad in the second half as we probably would have seen in the years where the market took a big hit going down.
Let's give attention to the performance of the banking subsector. Last year, the banks were leading trade with a very high margin, although other sectors also contributed, and we had many of them showing strength at early stages, like GT Bank, Zenith, and so on. Is this trend likely to continue? Will the banks do so well this year?
Okay, one of the things that the banks also do bring on the table, and that will help to help our viewers to understand why the banks will continue to behave the way they behaved. First, in terms of volume, the banks have the biggest shares in issue. And what is that I mean by this? For every company that is on the market, it must have some particular size of, and that basically determines the share capital of the company. And for the banks, they have the largest, and that's why most times when you also hear reports, especially in the local media, they are telling you about, this bank has the largest number of shares being traded in a particular day. And for investors who want to make money, once you buy low and you're able to sell high and you have the volume, the chances of you making money is higher. So for the foreign investors who want to make money in our market, they are not looking at companies that have 10,000 units as the biggest size they can get. They are looking in terms of millions, where possible billions. And the banks have that size. The least bank in terms of market capitalization is in excess of 12 billion naira, 12 billion units of shares. So that basically is the attraction that the banks also have. Secondly, is that in terms of availability of information, the banks are also expected to be much more available in terms of information than the other sectors. Don't also forget that because these banks have other corresponding banks globally, the ability to get information also much more available. So that's basically why the bank will continue to be the major attractive outlet.
But again, could we say something that since they also take foreign loans and also even patronages from overseas, is that what really pushed, that is foreign direct investors in the banking subsector?
Partly so, because if you're also going to borrow from the international community, you have to disclose in total, if you like, you have to dance naked.
Yes.
And so they know virtually everything that you have in terms of what your financials are. And that being the case, the information is sometimes even much more available offshore than being available local. So that's, yes, one of the factors as well.
Okay, 2018 is here. Now let's have a snippet of what we will expect or what the market would look like in 2018. What do you think? How do you view it?
The way the market is structured now, one thing that is certain is that a number of companies will be coming into the market and hoping to make money, hoping to raise money in 2018. So that itself is going to be a factor that will determine which way the companies will go in terms of performance. Those that will be able to raise money in the first quarter of the year and most likely in the first half, and with more money in their pockets, hence being able to drive their top line, may be able to make more money. And should they make more money in terms of bottom line, that itself becomes an attraction. But it must be mentioned that the issue of how well the macroeconomic position also perform will be also a big determinant as to how well the companies will do. Because if we have a reversal, for instance, of the foreign exchange position, oh, you can't take out your money or you can take out your money, that itself may also be a bigger challenge.
What about the oil and gas sector that is troubling the economy?
One of the things that the oil and gas, again, given what has happened so far in the Middle East, nobody wants war. But the more disturbances that you get in that position, the impact of that in terms of oil, the price of oil is also going to be in our favor. But much more important is that we also must do a little more in how we'll manage our resources. Because if you don't throw more money at capital projects, then that also becomes a challenge. If you also don't pay basic fees like salaries to workers, that itself also have a way of impacting, especially the consumer subsector of the market.
Mr. NONA, I thank you so very much for coming on this program.
It's a pleasure.
NONA is a market analyst and he has been here to look back at 2017 and look ahead of 2018. Don't forget, if you had invested in the Nigerian market, say January last year, before December, your investment would have brought you profit margin of approximately 40%. And you can't get that elsewhere. So you have to play in the Nigerian market. Back to you, yesterday.
Effiong Ekop there with updates from the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and of course with valuable advice now on where to make your next investment if you couldn't do in the stock market last year. Of course, the land is green now to invest in it this year. Thanks a lot, Effiong. All right, we'll end with crude oil prices trading higher at the global market as geopolitical tensions pushed aside bearish concerns. At the London market, the Brent crude trades at $66 per barrel, while the OPEC basket brand moves up to $64 per barrel. Well, that's Business Nigeria today. Thank you for joining us again. We meet tomorrow. Please join us then for a fresh edition. I am Kemi Fola Adeyemo. Thanks for watching. The World Now with Azizat Olaoluwa is next.